Hey, welcome back to Automotive Electronics. Today we got ourselves an 03 F250, I do believe. I already did a little prelim work, got these screws out of the back. We're going to get down to the board level and see what's going on. I guess I could show you what it's doing or not doing. All right, power's up good. Got a display up good. Everything seems to work. We're going to go ahead and power up here and see the gauge sweep. There you go. We can do that through by holding down the trip odometer also, but no need. It does a gauge sweep when we first crank it up anyway. So, all right. The complaint with this: no windows, no door locks. I think AC and radio go in and out. Same old song and dance with these Fords. Things get wonky. All right. Let's go over to the other bench. So these come apart pretty easily. I never did get over there, did I? There you go. Now you're there. All right. So these come apart pretty easily. You got these screws in the back, which I've already taken out, so we'll stick that over there. You've got to disconnect this little ribbon cable here if you want to pull the board off. All right. Now you can just work with your board. Things that we see on these all the time. Just get something to point these out to y'all. See if I can get you in a little tighter so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. These header pins with these plugs here come through. They like to turn loose. Here's another one over here that likes to turn loose. These pins here, they're associated with the display and that little gray cable I took off that goes straight to the display for your odometer. Those like to turn loose. And what's known as the battery saver relay, I think is the common terminology for these, is located right here, and they like to turn loose. All right. So let's get started looking at this a little closer, see if we can find the exact problem with this one. Oh man, we got microscope getting glitchy issues. Hang tight. Be right back with some picture. Well, that's crap. Now we got an issue with no screen at all. Good Lord. It is not happy. All right. Now that I got my microscope working, zoom out a little bit, give you a little field of reference here. We're going to zoom in on those header pins. Now, like I said, that was where the power plugs plug in the back in this. We're going to zoom in and take a look at those. I'll try to stay as focused as I can for you guys following along at home. And we are looking for cracks. Anything that we can see looks like a crack. I didn't see anything on those. Move over and look at the ones on this side. You got 2 rows of pins coming through. See the other little thing you want to do. You want to turn the board up a little bit, twist and turn, kind of look at them. You know, sometimes you're going to miss a crack if you don't do that. Don't really see anything there. Let's see if we got anything down in here on this display where the odometer comes through. That one looks like it might be starting. So when I got one like this, what I like to do is just grab a hold of that pin and see if I can wiggle it. It's pretty solid. But we're going to go over all this stuff anyway. Let's look at the battery saver area. Okay, let's zoom in out. I'll zoom out so you can see where I'm looking here. So these pins are for the battery saver relay. And hang on, let it focus here. Those are the kind of cracks we're looking for, right there. And when I say that I'd like to grab a hold of these and give them a little yank around, let's see what happens here. Yeah, see how that pin's moving? And not good. Let's see if I can get this one in focus. Those look okay. That one don't look good. She's not a happy, oh no, she's not a happy camper at all. You know Daisy at all. From my favorite film. Tombstone, that's a good film. I wonder who y'all's favorite character in Tombstone was. Was it Doc Holliday? That was mine. Doc, because he was a good friend. He didn't have to be there, but he was. All right, so let's get back over here. A little wider view. And I'll show you the process, which is pretty simple. Get yourself a soldering iron. Pencil tipped soldering iron. They're the best for this. Don't need nothing heavy duty. If you got something with a big old tip on it, pistol grip, too much. Too much. Don't need that. Get my glasses on so I can see. And I'll try to keep all this in frame. If I get out of frame, somebody yell at me, okay? We're just adding a little solder, a little touch-up action here to each pin. Paying attention that we still have a gap between the pins and the solder hasn't bridged that gap, because if the solder bridges that gap, you're going to have problems that you didn't even have before. As long as you work fast enough, there's no need to just go crazy with the flux. You got enough flux in the core of your solder with your working with resin core solder, then you should have enough flux there to handle the situation. These are the odometer display pins down here. We're going to touch them up. Alright, and now we're going to get over here on this one. Lay your bets, people. Am I going to have enough solder in my hand, or am I going to have to get more? Now we're on the battery saver relay. Oh, it ain't looking good. Looks like I'm going to have to get more solder. I probably should do it now before I burn my fingers. All right. More solder. I'm very stubborn about not wasting solder. Don't know why. Ain't like it's expensive. It ain't gonna break the bank or nothing. So we're gonna do a couple other little things just because they're sticking out. And they're easy and they're quick. So we're gonna get the through hole pins that are coming through the board here. Don't usually see a lot of problems with them, but we're going to get them anyway. Just 'cause. Get on there. That should pretty much do it. Occasionally we have to get extreme and resolder this processor here. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. And usually when that's the case, we have like issues with it powering up, powering it on, you know, things like that. Not just specific issues like the AC windows and stuff, which I bet you anything got to do with that relay right there. I'm going to go ahead and touch up these resistors that are underneath this plug because it's a Ford. Ford resistors like to turn loose. You can hit these pretty quickly. A little rapid fire here. One diode just because it's in the way. I don't want it to look incomplete. Like I used to turn my homework in. Incomplete. And late. Alright. I think we're good enough on this old girl here. And we'll come back over here. We'll show you the reassembly. You don't want to lose your little plunger here. Don't want to forget it if it's falling out. You have to take it all back apart to put it back. And it's got this little rubber tip on it too. It kind of falls off if you don't pay attention. And then you're chasing it down all over the floor. And that's not something I want to do with my eyes. Alright, so you get your rear panel back on. Let's get a couple screws in here so we can quit holding it together. That should be it. That should be another Ford instrument cluster pulled from the ashes. Everything working. Of course, everything was working before we started. So it's hard for when you're shipping these things into me. Hard for me to know I got it. I just go over all the components and all the pieces that I know to be failure points. Since I don't have the truck here, I won't be able to verify that windows and locks and all that stuff are working. And even if it was here, I could get in it and verify that it was working, but only at this point, and those tend to be intermittent problems. So those are the repairs we know to do on these. Fixes them 99 times out of 100. So there you go. There's your finished result. Of course, looks just like it did before I started. Nothing jumping out at you there. Anyhow, if you like what you saw here today, please get down there, hit those buttons, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know the new content when it's released. My name's John. We've been fixing electronics here in San Antonio for over 20 years. And we specialize in automotive, but we've expanded into all other kinds of areas. So you can Google us, Automotive Electronics in San Antonio. You'll definitely find us. Until next time, I hope all your repair attempts are successful. And maybe you save yourself a little cash. We'll see you on the next one.